Stories have the power to open us to the love which we call God. A story's ability to open our eyes to love has been true since the once upon a time days of our childhood through to the way back when stories handed down from one generation to the next. I don't exactly remember where or when I first heard this particular love story. I do know that the depth of love which this story reveals opens us to the love which lives in, with, and through each of us. Way back when World War II had just ended and refugees were herded into camps until the world could figure out what to do with the millions of displaced people in it, love was revealed. Back then, refugee camps were filled to overflowing with children who'd lost their families during the war. Apparently, there was this little boy in a camp in France. The little boy's name has long since been lost to me, so I'm going to call him André because André is a French name derived from the word for man, for André could be any little boy. André couldn't have been more than about 7 years old, and he could barely remember the family he lost almost 3 years before the war ended. He'd been living in the refugee camp, more of an orphanage really, for almost a year. A few nuns who never could scrape together enough money to feed the children properly ran this camp. But they did their best, and the children were, when all was said and done, lucky to be alive. The children hardly noticed that Christmas was approaching until one of the nuns announced that a neighbor had promised to come by the orphanage on Christmas Eve to drop off a sack full of oranges. André had only a vague memory of what an orange actually is. The year before, a stranger had shared an orange with André, and he remembered the taste of the tiny sections of his share of the orange, which oozed precious juice down his half-starved throat. André spent the days leading up to Christmas Eve dreaming of having a whole orange of his very own. He thought about the smell of the orange. He dreamed of peeling the orange, and he carefully considered whether or not to simply devour each and every section of the orange all at once, or whether he should divide it and save a section or two for Christmas morning. When Christmas Eve arrived, the children were so excited as the nuns did what they could to bring some Christmas cheer to the camp. And when the neighbor arrived, there was so much jostling for position that little André found himself at the end of a very long queue. He strained to see the treasure that awaited him, and sure enough, the aroma of oranges began to waft André's way. As campmates danced their oranges around the room, André saw the neighbor's expression begin to change. The neighbor looked so very sad when he began to deliver the shattering news to André that all the oranges were gone. The neighbor was trying to apologize when André shot from the room and ran all the way to his dormitory and flung himself on his bed and began to sob and sob and sob. In the midst of his grief, little André didn't hear the other children come into the dormitory. As his body heaved and his sobs robbed him of his breath, André didn't feel the tap on his shoulder. It was the smell of orange which finally caught his attention. And as André raised his head from his pillow, he caught sight of the little girl's outstretched hand. On her palm lay a peeled orange. It was made up of wedges, saved from the oranges of the other children. Each child had donated a wedge. Together, they had created the most beautiful, tangy, juicy orange which Andre ever tasted in his 93 years of savoring oranges on Christmas Eve. Love oozes, drips, and pungently presents itself in, with, through, and around each one of us. Savor the love which quenches our thirst for life. Embody that love for the thirsty ones of the world. May the Holy One who is love continue to live and move in, with, through, and beyond you and yours during these challenging times. Shalom, dear ones. Shalom. I hope you are enjoying these love stories for Advent and Christmas, which are made possible by the support and encouragement of the progressive community of Holy Cross Lutheran Church. Holy Cross is a small congregation which is progressive in approach and Christ-like in action. The current COVID lockdown has brought with it all sorts of unprecedented challenges. I am very proud to tell you that the people of Holy Cross have risen to those challenges and then some. If you have benefited from their progressive approach to Christianity and would like to ensure that we can bring you more resources in the coming months, please consider making a donation to Holy Cross. You will find a donation page on our website where you will find several ways to make contributions to Holy Cross. May the Holy One who is love continue to live and move in, with, through, and beyond you and yours during these challenging times. Shalom, dear ones. Shalom.